got to make sure you get a seam, and you can't throw it as hard. There are some things that you've got to be careful of, and you've got to be cognizant of to not make any mistakes. But hey, when you were a kid, you used to play in the mud, right?
That's right.
It's not that muddy, but it's wet.
If it were to be, you play through it. All right, Tigers starting pitcher presented by Wallside Windows. Brant Herter has been offered up as the second pitcher most often in his major league career, but he's been a bulk innings guy. This is his very first major league start. He's our starting pitcher presented by Wallside Windows.
Herter opening. Who's going to be the bulk guy? It's not Maeda today, is it? If we get Maeda as the bulk guy, then we probably are going to fucking lose.
He's got to be pumped his first start in the major leagues. We went from the rain delay, and sometimes, who knows what they were doing in there? Ping pong, playing some cards. Brant Herter wasn't, though. He was grinding a little bit, maybe listening to some music.
Trying to just kill some time till he threw his first pitch. Angels batting order is presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ward at the top of the line.
It's exciting, man. Chance to get above 500. Who'd have thunk it?
So they stacked the lineup today for Herter.
Yeah, we got it. A bunch of stores around our house don't have it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. If you live in a suburban and or major metropolitan major metropolitan city in 2024, I feel like at this point technology should have us at a point where we've advanced beyond power. That's a double.
He's on his way to second. This is a leadoff double for the Angels left fielder. And time now for the Menards big money encounter. Here's a scouting report on the Angels offense. And this is one of the things that we were watching from the starting lineup on. They're much better against left-handed pitchers than right-handed pitchers. Early in at-bats, they've been quite good. Not a great fastball hitting team, and they'll lose some outs on the bases.
The least efficient base stealing team.
Ramping it up right here.
All right, come on. You see, there's an out. That'll advance him though. God, that got deeper than I expected.
He's on his way into third, and he is there. So,
are they going infield in?
A little bit of a double parked offensive night for both teams. We'll see how early both teams swing. And here is the defense for the Tigers behind Brant Herter. Green,
you got Carey DHing.
The Tigers have gotten healthier and healthier, winning 4 straight in Chicago.
Yeah, we do. Okay. This is a good lineup.
Young getting the night off so far. Jake Rogers has the plate.
Tigers, as they always do, they come in
a crash with the infield coming in, trying to choke off that run for Brant Herter.
Yeah, they stay back, and when the pitcher starts to go to his motion, they run in. It's just a little distraction. That's a Tony La Russa thing. He was probably the first guy that I remember did it.
One is in for a strike to Shonowell, the 22-year-old former 11th overall pick out of the state of Florida.
It's another guy they called up after he played 2 minor league games.
He made his major league debut just over a year ago. It was a year and 9 days ago.
Can you go home? No, go on. Fuck, he said. Yeah. That's a tough one.
That was total no man's land.
No. Yeah, no, I haven't watched the Stallions doc. I guess I don't know. I think a lot of people, and I get it, are going to say that I'm avoiding it or I'm running from it. It's really not so much that. I guess to me, people who want to be angry about that are going to stay angry, and I'm not even saying that they aren't justified with their anger. And the people who are going to continue to celebrate Michigan's success over the last 3 seasons, especially last year, are going to continue to celebrate it. It's very similar to what the Astros went through in 2017. I have a lot of Astros fans that follow me. They look at that championship as totally legitimate, and they point out the fact that other teams probably do similar stuff. And the only reason I would probably watch it would be if it turned out that there was information in it that we didn't know about. But it kind of seems like a lot of it is just reiterating talking points that we already knew. My guess, as somebody who didn't watch it, is if you came into it hating Michigan and feeling as though this championship and this run was tainted, you're probably going to come out of it feeling the same way. If you came into it as a diehard Michigan fan who believes that this was something that gave them minimal advantage, or that they're not guilty at all, then you're going to feel the same way. I think it's one thing that really annoys me, not annoys me necessarily, but just like when it comes to college sports fandom that, in my opinion, doesn't exist in other sports, is the fact that it's so territorial that there's almost no such thing as facts. People are going to form their own opinions, and that's, in some ways, that's fine. But I think that you have two opposing sides that are fighting battles that are impossible to win. In Michigan's side, they're fighting a battle of this is completely clean, this is void of any cheating or wrongdoing. Well, that's not true. And on the other side, they're trying to say this is totally tainted, nothing about your championships are legitimate, and that's not true either. So you're chasing something that you're never gonna find, that you're never gonna achieve or obtain. So I find it all kind of silly. If people want to get in my face and say, "He fucking welcome, goddamn it," people want to get in my face and say, "Well, you know what? I don't think that title is legitimate." Okay, fine. You're not going to change how I feel. I'm very happy with the way things went. But I don't even know if it's a well-made documentary either. I mean, it might be. I'm not sure, but. All right, cut this off at 1. Okay, you can't give up more than 1 run here.
Looking for a double play.
It's a huge lead at second.
Yeah, I was going to say check the runner.
One outside. Shonowell, who's got an 11-game on base streak now, standing at second and trying to draw the attention of Herder there.
Herder.
Brent Herder throwing strikes.
My name is Brent Herder.
Rain delay.
Sorry. Oh, I love doing that.
All his pitches going. And the opposing hitters have not fared well.
The Angels are typically bottom 10 in swing percentage in Major League Baseball, but that's been different tonight.
Missed you.
2-2 on O'Hoppe in his 3rd year as an Angel. He's traded for Brandon Marsh a couple of years ago. Foul right side. So this
Chase and Shreve. I started with Grace. I brought this up because I like to cite my sources. It's one of my favorite things in the history of things. Like, seriously, there's this old Opie and Anthony bit where they point out the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is a 6'5" Austrian bodybuilder, in all of his movies, he had very generic American names. Like, these are real names. My name is Adam Gibson. I'm Ben Richards. Howie Langston, John Kimball. And so every time I hear a name that sounds very like, catch it. Nice. Well played, Parker. That sounds very, like it could have that Arnold cadence. I always say it. So it started with Grayson Griner in 2019. My name is Grayson Griner. This is my daughter, Chenny Griner. And then last year was Chase. Because one thing that Anthony pointed out in that episode is the fact that Schwarzenegger pronounces his J's like CH's. So if his name is John, he goes, my name is Chan. So it's like Jason Shreve. Jason. You got to enjoy the little things, man. Jake Berger, yeah. Did he fucking balk? Let's go.
Let's see what he had to become set right here.
I love Schwarzenegger, man. I wish Schwarzenegger would come back and do like one final. I guess they tried it with those Expendables movies, but like one final big like send off to his action career. Because he made some great movies, man. I'm sorry. Like, I know even the bad ones are good. Like, Commando is a fun movie. Remember Sully when I promised to kill you last? That's right, man. You did. I lied. Good block. You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last. Yeah, well, that's what scares me. But yeah, you're right. Typically, he is butt cheeks. Total Recall is a great movie. Yes. In a few days here, probably early next week, I'm going to do a full schedule breakdown, a full video breaking down the entire schedule. Yeah, really, I mean, I don't want to put it all on one guy, but it really does feel like the team completely flipped when Parker Meadows came back. And now he ended up going on the IL again. Got him. Good pitch. He ended up going on the IL again, but it was right after that July 4th weekend. That series against Cincinnati, because you had that they swept Cincinnati. They had the game where Colt Keith hit the 2 home runs. There was another game in the middle of that. Oh, yeah, that they had an extra inning. It wasn't extra, but they had a 9th inning comeback or a late inning comeback on a game where Hunter Green shut them down through 7 innings. And then the next day was the day where Skubal struck out 13. It seemed like after that, they just started to get into a pretty good rhythm. And really, I mean, that was kind of the point when the offense stopped being dormant. I mean, I've made this joke, but if you've ever read Dante's Divine Comedy, which is one of the few books I read because I had to read it in high school, the 8th circle of hell is having to watch that version of the Tigers offense leave guy after guy after guy in scoring position. Good Chris and Company episode coming tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, probably. Well, I would say listen to Chris and Company tomorrow because I generally agree with the breakdown that my guests do of each team. Let's go, Parker. Bring me pictures of Spider-Man. Johnny fucking Cueto. Old ass Johnny Cueto. When he was on, Johnny Cueto was a very fun pitcher to watch. Very fun.
Since August the 11th, when the Tigers have built that +8 to 500. 310 for Buehler, 382 for Keith, 333 for Torque, among others. Here we go. Johnny Cueto is 38 years old. His major league debut was in 2008 in the same starting pitching rotation as Bronson Arroyo, Edinson Volquez, and Aaron Harang, among others.
Harang? Heron?
The oldest pitcher in Major League Baseball right now is Justin Verlander at 41. That's right. Johnny Cueto at 38, you couldn't blame him for not, having the technology work for him.
Well, it doesn't look like he knows how to use it. He's too young.
He's used to it.
Yeah. But Johnny Cueto, he's got a great pitch. He knows how to pitch. He's playful out there.
Run it out. Nah, he had it played well.
There, it got over him to Rendon, and Anthony Rendon throws out Parker Meadows.
But even when he puts the ball on the ground, you feel like he with his speed, he can be able to reach base. Rendon had that played really well. I'm not going to recap it. I wasn't in there for that Spaces. Um,
Down, that's outside. Ball 1 to Riley Green.
I don't even really know
Yeah, the
like what to
once
say
again.
about it.
Johnny Cueto had a great
This is going to sound like a very simplistic take, and it is, but to me, we've suffered enough with this team. We don't need this. Doesn't need to be Lord of the Flies. Okay, there doesn't need to be infighting. I mean, I hate to pull the whole ELE, everybody love everybody card, but like, this should be. And I'm guilty of this. Not maybe not with Tigers Twitter, but just with social media in general. Drop. Damn it. But, this should be fun. It should be enjoyable. It should be relatively free of drama. If you want to argue sports, you can argue sports. But, it's why I don't even really like dissecting or recapping that stuff, just because it's, it just people get upset. And I've dealt with enough of that shit on my own end. So.
We've seen Cueto with 2 trick pitches already, just quick pitch.
One day this lineup is going to be deep enough where Matt Vierling is going to become one of the most dangerous 6 or 7 hitters in a lineup. I talked about it in, I think, one of my recent post games, which is he will thrive in that role. I think that he's asked to. That's a fly out. He's not a number 3 hitter, but because of the thinness of the roster, he's been kind of thrust into that position. We'll see. Well, let's get a quick inning in here defensively. I think we should be able to score a few against Cueto. But we can't, we're not a team, even with the offense looking better lately, that's really equipped to play from behind. I know bullpen days have been going well for us, but I hate them. I understand that, Aaron. I mean, I'm a fan of the starting pitcher. Now, I also understand the Tigers are in a predicament where, like, they've had to do this. It's not ideal. I think over an extended period, I'd say more than a month, bullpen days start to fall apart. I think once the sample size becomes larger and larger for these pitchers, they get figured out. I went for a run, and it was very hot.
Welcomes everyone and gets them up and running and playing well quickly. So
yeah, no, I sweat my balls off, dude. In some ways, it's kind of good because you don't – like, I only had to go 4 miles to feel like I got my full workout in.
And especially with a group of young players like the Tigers have now, you don't want any of these guys being brought down by losing, getting used to losing.
Wow, Brandon Drury's been shit. That was a guy I kind of liked.
He hates losing more than he enjoys winning, and you've got a bunch of young guys who carry that same attitude into the game now that they're part of this Tigers clubhouse and they're part of this environment. They've all been looking for the opportunity to get their big league chance. They've got it. They've seized it. And they've now helped win 11 of the last 14 games and now push this team to the 500 level. But they've all got aspirations beyond playing 500 baseball, guys. They would love to make a push for this.
If I showed the game, would I get banned? I think it's definitely not something I'm willing to risk. I would love, and this is obviously a long shot. Nice play. I would love to do some sort of watch along with the fans at some point where I have the game on the corner of the screen, or maybe even like an in-person watch along if people are interested in that, some sort of sponsored event. But in terms of just doing it from the basement right now, I don't think that would be a good idea.
That's an athlete, though, folks.
He just said the other day that he was trying to quit running into walls.
Well,
and he said that the first step was admitting you have a problem. and then he just got dragged right back into it.
Okay, I want to be talking about Tigers right now. I'm not going to be reiterating this all fucking night, but
0-1.
probably not.
Side, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's been in center, he's been in left, now he's in right. There is a difference when the ball comes off the bat. When you're in those different positions, you have to be aware and use your head how to get there, how to put it away.
Jack Lopez, who made his debut going 2 for 13 with the Red Sox in 2021, back up in the bigs with the Angels, still without his first Angel hit. Though he does have an RBI. He's driven in a run before he's got his first Angel hit.
My name is Brant Hoda.
That's impressive vim and vigor from the crowd after sitting around for 2:45.
That means they had some good meal, some good refreshments, and they're happy.
That's true. We probably have a very drunk crowd at Comerica right now.
This feels like one final family outing before school starts. That's what this feels like tonight. On the ground, second base, off the backhand for Keith. And reason to cheer. It's a 1-2-3.
What, the ping on my phone? Okay, so the way that I have it set up is that I have Do Not Disturb on for my phone, except for like 10 people. Because that way, if I get the ping on my phone, it means that I'm hearing from somebody that I really like and that they're important to me. So that's what just happened. In general, most of the time I get texts, it's just silent. Good quick inning there. Yeah, you know, I probably found myself, I'm not going to say defending, but not criticizing Shep as much as other people. But I never said that he was good. I mean, this is going to sound mean to what I'm about to say. I think his hiring was a half-assed procedure. In the sense that, you know, they basically just defaulted to the safest choice. I have heard him and I've seen him call other sports and I've seen him do a good job. I just think he wasn't properly equipped for baseball. Like, there's just a different cadence and a different rhythm that comes with the sport of baseball that, like, Benetti has it, the way that he weaves in and out of stories, the way that he interacts with his color commentators. He just has a natural flow to the game. That's hard to find. You need to be an elite announcer to call a baseball game. Am I going to any more games this year? I don't know. Probably not right now. If I started drinking again, do I think I'd be public about it? Yeah, I haven't thought about, like, or planned out drinking again. You know, I don't have any plans to. But if I did, what would happen is I would not be public about it and say, hey, I'm back on the wagon or off the wagon. I would just totally stop talking about sobriety. I'd probably avoid questions about it. And depending on, I don't know. I mean, I did a very good job of hiding it first time around. I'd probably do it again, but let's not go there.
Probably talk him into it if he's smooth about it.
As a starting shortstop, no. I could see him back in some capacity.
One of us could be.
Yeah, that's not me. He checks his swing and clips it foul. That was interesting before the game. AJ Hinch talking about pinch hitters. You asked him about pinch hitters. One of the things he mentioned is that he has pinch hit for just about everybody in this lineup. So it makes him unpredictable to the other dugout, or at least that's part of the design. If there's a swing, and he did go strike 3. Johnny Cueto goes changeup around number
Johnny,
1. But if you pinch hit,
you read Johnny.
Then the other manager doesn't say, well, he always pinch hits for this guy, or he never pinch hits for that guy. So
nightly lives, no. Okay, so that's actually a good question. I guess I don't know, maybe it isn't, but like I did do live streams when I was drinking. Not every night. Part of it was I was keeping myself occupied by drinking. And but there were a few. I remember I did those World Series streams, and I was pretty inebriated. Am I more of a dork or a nerd? I don't know. I guess I guess dork. There is a difference. The way I feel about it is that nerds, in my opinion, can be cool. Dorks will never be cool. Dorks get shoved into lockers. So I'm somewhere in between. I'm a nork because I was never like, you know, the guy who got shit on for having a Batman collection, but I was never the, you know, I was never the guy who was never the quarterback either.
But I think his number one chip is Vanius when they bring it left.
I actually am currently streaming on Twitch right now.
I think Vanius is the guy that
Favorite Tigers analyst right now? Okay, radio, I like Andy Dirks a lot. Petrie has grown on me quite a bit with television. And maybe it's just I think Benetti does a great job of kind of getting the most out of him. But I think those ones are kind of my favorite right now. I honestly forget Carlos Pena fucking has done this a few times.
makes sense.
Yeah, it doubles the confidence, or is some multiplier for your confidence as Torque pops this up back at home. But then Andy Ibanez comes running out of the dugout yesterday because Riley Green was on deck just in case if Torque didn't homer. And the one thing that happened that they were planning to keep Ibanez in for was a Torque homer. He did
no boy.
that. So Ibanez was over in the corner of the dugout down the first base line in Chicago. They had to go find him. George Lombard had to go find him.
Did I ever piss my pants at school? No. I never. As an adult, I have never pissed or shit my pants. And that not just adulthood, but that goes back to school. Never did. I know of many people that have. Do I think Simo was drunk in the booth? Look, I have no clue. The fact is, one thing that, like, I've learned, let me see this pitch. It's a good pitch. Is that most people who drink heavily do a pretty good job of hiding it because they're so consistently inebriated. There are nights you can tell if they mix in meds or if they're fucking, you know, switching other drinks. But do I think I'd be more successful at Barstool if I had pissed or shit my pants? For content? No, I think the market for that was pretty filled at my last job. I don't look back on my failure at Barstool and say, you know, if only I would have pissed my pants a few times. Cueto looks tough. Cueto's stuff still moves. He still commands the zone. Sorry. There's a subreddit called TikTok or cringe TikToks, and I'm watching it right now, and it's a woman, like an very interactive video TikTok of a woman cleaning a person's grave, like their tombstone, and like it's a full like casket setup though. There's just a level of enthusiasm that she's doing it with that I find amusing. This really would be a kick in the dick if we fucking found a way to lose the Angels again. That was the low point of this season. I would argue things started to get better. We had that series against the Angels. I think we lost 3 out of 4. We blew several leads. Shelby Miller pissed one away. We lost one in extras. Yeah. All right, good job. That was a liner caught by Sweeney. And then we won the game where Malloy had the inside the Parker. And I think we kind of started to play better about a week after that.
For nearly a quarter of their runs driven in this month for the Angels. And Neto, just 23 years old when he first came up.
Neto!
Manager at the time, and he said, look, he's going to make us better. That's what he's here
That's in there.
Neto has been a key part of this offense, especially against left-handed pitching. And he leads the league in eye black while we're at it.
Down.
Look at this.
No, he's got the Aiden Hutchinson thing, though.
What's that about? Yeah, for the lights?
Chopper right back to
Attaboy.
Hurter. He's got it.
Job.
He spins it. And they're 2 away. Pitch count's not really going to be a problem for the starters tonight. I have to imagine.
Yeah, they get through it pretty quick. Everybody's got the bats moving.
Oh, 2
It's a
outside.
wet track.
Here is Shotwell. Tapped in a run
We're just throwing strikes. I mean, the pitching staff's been so consistent.
to get Ward home in the first.
I mean, everything.
Do I get the whole streamer industry?
Meaning you're a good golfer.
No. Well, what do you mean? Like, do I get the popularity?
Yeah, you tap it in.
I like it.
Just tap
I'm not a good person to ask about stuff like that because I have very few interests.
it. You golf 4 times a day.
This is my assessment as somebody who's a novice in regards to knowledge of that situation. Every single Twitch streamer that I'm aware of who has become popular in some capacity is such a fucking sideways baseball cap wearing fucking douche that it makes the entire genre very unappealing to me. Now, I'm sure that I'm generalizing like crazy. But those personalities don't really do a whole lot for me. I do enjoy video games. I don't view myself as somebody that would get a whole lot of enjoyment out of watching somebody else play a video game. So it's kind of not something that I really delve super deep into, but I don't, I don't hate it.
But that's a good pitch on 1-2, right? Lefty, lefty.
I think it's very good. I don't know. I could take him down a little bit, but you got to be careful. Yeah, come out of nowhere.
Into the dugout,
So
foul.
he kind of goes up and he's got like a little turn, kind of like I've been trying to do again. Look, as he turns it, that's that arm come from way back there.
Yep. 2-2.
In there. Yeah, no, that was there.
Another beautiful 2-seamer.
Good job by Jake framing that, but that was in the zone. What would my role for that be? I don't really know what I could do for the team. How many Diet Cokes a day? Well, I'm a Coke Zero guy, but I don't know. I don't keep track. I mean, I always have enjoyed pop. I think that I definitely have increased my intake in sobriety. Best chance at a rotation spot next year: Montero, Herter, or Madden. I'd say Montero. He'll have the most innings, the most experience of the group. I don't know if the plan is to turn Herter into a starter. I'm not sure. How weird does it feel having a full life on the internet? I'll be completely honest with you, man. Right now, it's not that weird. I think that with what the way that I communicate with people, that kind of status might not be the right word, but that kind of quirkiness, is something that has always kind of appealed to me. Growing, building an audience, communicating with your audience. But I think that there will come a day. I hope this day comes where there's a bit more going on in my life in regards to interpersonal relationships, professional situation, what have you, where there's some stuff that I just keep a little bit more under wraps. I'm 29 now, which basically means I'm 30, right? And you're always very idealistic in your 20s. And I think that I had this idea for the longest time of like, I'm going to share my story and I want to be somebody who inspires people because, I didn't always have the best time mentally growing up, and I want to be able to kind of do something greater than just the Tiger videos I do and the sports videos I do. My opinion of that has changed. Look, if somebody wants help or advice about mental health stuff, I'd be happy to do it or provide it. But at the end of the day, I feel I got to move on from the idea that I owe people something more. So it's not bothersome right now, but of course, and that's I see a question here. If you could redo your Barstool experience, would you play a version of Chris Castellani and treat your on-camera self as a character or be your authentic self? I don't think I have it in me to have a on-camera, off-camera persona. In fact, with a few exceptions, I think that saying, "Oh, it's a character," is a very lame way of like getting away with being an asshole. Like, yes, I said that I'm gonna skull fuck your mom, but I didn't say it. The other version of me did it. The content version. Okay, that's just like, to me, that you're changing the rules at recess just so you can win. I have never known, and this has worked to my advantage and definitely worked to my detriment, I have never known how to be anything else other than just me. So I don't have any regrets about like, oh, I should have been more of a character. I have regrets about oversharing for sure, but that doesn't, I feel like that's not cut from the same cloth. Tell you what, this guy batting right here is absolutely not a major league player. And I don't know what the fuck he's going to do in the next pitch. I don't know if he's going to homer, but like there's certain guys where if they're not on the team next year, I'll have a pretty good indication that this team's not like is actually planning on competing. I can't see this guy in a major league ball field next year. He grounded up to third. Ryan Kreidler just doesn't have it anywhere. What do I most regret about the 6 months? Is it 6 months? 5, yeah, 5, 6 months. You know what's weird is post Barstool, I actually don't, as a fly ball to center. I think that's in the park though. Yeah. Good Lord, games are moving fast. Post Barstool, I don't actually have a ton of regrets. I think that the number one thing I wanted to make sure that I didn't do was leave and make things any worse than I'd already made them. I didn't want to leave and start trashing people, start shit talking people. So I actually don't have a lot of regrets over the last several months. I had an opportunity where, my contract was, I was still getting paid for a while and so I don't, I do think I've grown. The regret comes from probably not the 5 months since I left Barstool, probably the 5 months before, and leading up to when I did leave. Did I take a shot? I'm serious. If I did, I don't recall doing that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I could tell they're getting impatient. Look, they on Twitter, I tweeted that? No, I didn't. We're at a place where they were really proud of me when I got the Barstool job, and we haven't really had those discussions, but they are every bit as upset at the way that I fucked that up as I am. And because of that, This is my assessment. Okay, I could be lying, or not lying, but I could be ill-informed. They have no faith in me at all. They told me literally tonight, what you do on the internet, I know you got the job at Barstool. You cannot make a living off of that. I don't like hearing that. It kind of hurts my feelings because there's nothing else I want to do. And I feel like if I had a child who had a dream or an aspiration, I would do everything I could to make sure that they could achieve that. But they feel differently, and I understand it. I'm not even mad. I feel like if I was in their position, I'd probably feel the same way. But it's frustrating that I've put myself in a position where it feels like nobody believes in me at this point. I'm not even saying they aren't warranted or justified in their belief, but it hurts. When I say I don't care, that's not me saying that I want to live here forever, because I don't. But I think that this idea that if I moved out, that all of a sudden I'd be fucking social butterfly and shit. I think I would do the same shit. I'd wake up, I'd go for a run, I'd create content. I don't think my day-to-day would change that much. Do I think Trey Sweeney is what Ryan Kreidler is supposed to be? I don't know, because I'm not sure what the Tigers thought Ryan Kreidler was going to be. I was never a Ryan Kreidler believer. In fact, the first time I'd heard of Ryan Kreidler was during the 2021 season when we wanted the team to go out and sign a shortstop. And Lynn Henning was tweeting about how, there's this Ryan Kreidler guy. Ryan Kreidler in AAA, his numbers he had like a 765 OPS. Like he had very unimpressive minor league numbers. So I was never a big believer. I think if the intention is this infielder who is sort of a diamond in the rough, shortstop, Sweeney could be that. I mean, small sample size, but the defense is obviously there. I think there's something that he could add. The power numbers are there. All it takes is one or two videos to really pop off. Yeah, I mean, other people's counter to that, and again, I'm not even saying they're wrong, is that I had that video. It was the Turnbull no-hitter video. Do I think that I'm going to make stuff that I'm more proud of or that I think is better? Yeah, of course. But you don't really get to choose when you go viral. The internet chooses it for you. Oh my God, he gave it to him. Jesus. Good job by Jake pulling that back in the zone, but that was not a strike. We're not even an hour into this game. We're about to be 4 innings in.
He's been out there with that sweeper trying to get that outside corner and did strike out Brent Bowman on that same pitch.
Third strikeout looking for Burger so far. So here is the report on Mike Estabrook giving.
Large strike zone in all aspects for right-handed batter. Skin zone low for the left-handed batter.
That's the pitch he called strike.
That was the same pitch, but he didn't.
Exactly, Gibby. I agree. Thank you.
The thing about that scouting report is everybody's got it. Everybody knows. So if he's consistent, you'd almost rather have him call that if you're a hitter and you know the scouting report. Because if you go into the game thinking he's going to call it and he doesn't, then you've got two different zones to deal with. Not that you want to be punched at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I mean, umpires are human too, and they get a couple strikes. They want to get in the action a little bit. If it's kind of close, if it's kind of close, they want to bring them up.
3-1, line to left field, and
nice snag.
Was foul. And a nice catch. beautiful catch. And they give it to a kid. Lovely. Watch this play.
Ready to blow. Bad boy. He's getting some practice.
Look at that.
Do you see the look by the ball boy?
I fucking walked
That
him.
is my job.
That's right to me. Yeah.
But how about that seat? I mean, it's just the perfect seat. Right in that corner. And that ball just went right to him.
Ball boy's look was like if you guys started doing play-by-play. That's how I look at
Look,
it.
I'm not saying I
What are
was
you doing?
contributing as much as I should have, though I did blog. I did, in that aspect, do what they told me. There's people who did way less that
Nice catch.
have been there and are like kind of made men there.
Right. 2-0. Thought that first pitch could have been called a strike. It looked like it was in the zone. And now they're just, that's awful, right?
They're not
Sit
even
next to
looking
each
at
other.
the end of the stakes.
To shortstop.
Nice play.
Sweeney on the back
Good job.
the short way for on
Let's get a run. Come on, Tigers. Let's get a hit first. Jesus.
FanDuel Casino has your chance at the #1 favorite.
This is it. Because Meadows is going to lead off with a triple down the right field line, and then Green's going to homer, and we're going to be winning 2-1.
On FanDuel Casino Reward Machine. Free to play every day with a chance at a $2,000 top prize.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing I want to put to rest is like I apply to, I don't know, five to 10 jobs a day. I mean, not in media necessarily, but you know, this I'm not going to say in my defense because that could change, but for the time being, you know, I'm trying to apply for entry level stuff that, you know, typically requires just a high school diploma, but there is other people, like there's people on the other end of that I got to rely on. You know, people got to get back to me.
James liking baseball and knowing a lot about the sport made it.
She kind of looks like a Olivia Munn kind of.
Like the early part of dating.
Kind of teaching her a little bit more about the.
I think you made fun of me about all my favorite Tigers.
Yes.
Here's our Trinity high-speed pitch. Johnny Cueto, 38 years old, 17 in the big. Starts with the quick pitch. Look at this guy. He's got all the tricks. Little Louis Tiant right there. He's going to mix everything up. His arm action is awesome. That's not fair, Dan Petrie. How does a guy do that?
That's why it's just so fun to watch him pitch.
Yeah, I mean, we have a perfect game going against us right now. We haven't had a base runner. Only first time through the order, though. Like, things can change.
I mean, like you guys were talking about, he used to have that real mid-90s fastball, a lot better stuff, but one thing that he hasn't lost, and that's that ability to know what he's doing and can pitch.
Oof.
He's definitely
Always had that good changeup, man.
get the Tiger hitters to get themselves out there. He's like, he just pulled the string right there. He'll let that 90-mile-an-hour fastball go. It looks like it's about 95 to the hitter. He's sneaky still.
Parker Meadows in the air.
Drop. Okay, that's 3. If they give him a triple for that, did I not say he's going to lead off with a triple and Green's going deep? I bet they give him a hit for that. They give him people hits for everything today. He hit it well. That should be caught. I don't know. Okay, it should be an error. He fucking dropped the ball.
Ward's eyes right there. I think
They gave him a triple. I said triple and homer. I said triple and home run.
when you call it, or you know you got it, you don't want anybody running you. You got to feel off. Somebody's got to call this, and somebody's got to feel off.
Ward catches that if Pilar's not there.
Yeah, Pilar kind of spooked him.
1-0.
Ah,
Riley Green.
Get out, get out.
Swing,
All right.
foul left side.
But how about Parker Meadows? Just that
it's a tough play, but it hit him in the glove.
pitch that looked like a slider that was out over the plate. He just went with it. Just the concentration of his head right down on the barrel, right at the contact point.
Didn't jump at it. Just real good approach and results.
Ah,
We've seen that a lot recently on the Tiger side, but also on other teams that, you know, where they've converged and they've peeled off. But watch his head stay right down on that, right on the
he's just seeing it so well, Parker.
contact point.
Interesting.
Watch this Cueto going to try to run one off.
We'll see what happens. This doesn't look like a very comfortable at bat for Riley right now.
That change up down and away.
I got a pretty hittable pitch. They fouled away, swung and missed at one.
I was going to say to you guys, I would bet you the reason that there are ample righties in this lineup is because of Johnny Cueto's changeup to left-handers.
So, yeah, that's when I looked at the lineup, I was wondering how they would do that. He's trying to take it away.
That's a good pitch. Yeah, it's that changeup.
One down.
Yeah, I think this just looks like a fastball right out of the hand of
Come on, you got to get this run in. Don't do stupid shit here. You were gifted a fucking triple.
Right there. And then look at that circle change. He turns it over, and Riley thinks that's right about 5-high fastball. The bottom just drops out. Just walks back, and then, yeah, it's a good pitch.
Strikeout number 3 for Cueto. Meadows still at third,
Inside.
and that will shove Beerling off the plate. Ball 1.
And it looks like Johnny Cueto is putting the ball exactly where he wants to, too, with that sinker.
And a changeup right on right. 1-1.
He's got that pitch working.
He's just really deceptive. He's got good
Theatricality and deception.
manipulate the ball,
Powerful agents to the uninitiated.
wrist.
But we are initiated.
The comparison to the
Odd reverse.
And I don't know if he's ever been called that, but that's who he reminds me of. Just the way he turns. And Louis Tiant was a little bit more maybe dramatic in some of the things that he did, but very, very similar.
All right, 3-1, dog. Grip it and rip it, baby. Grip it and rip it.
Yeah, so, you know, lifting the head up.
I don't think Cueto's going to give in right here either. He's been very patient so far.
Get down. Yeah, that's extra bases. Split the gap, please. Oh, he muffed it. All right, he's going to go 3 now. Man, Joe Adell sucks. And that guy is just not a good major league player. He's been hyped up. He was hyped up for so long that him and Trout were going to man that outfield. Does a good job there because that was going to be 2. That was going to be an easy double. But he did a good job there of cutting that off and right. And then he fucking muffs it. Good work. Yeah, he just came out of his glove. I take it that's a double and an error. Some sloppy defense by the Angels in this inning. Outside.
You only pick it up one time in the outfield, and that costs an extra base. Tigers with another chance to pick up a free one.
You know, Matt Beerling looked like he had 3 separate gears running the bases there.
Get through. Was that an error? Was that under his glove? Or was that a base hit?
Jerry Carpenter comes through.
Good adjustment. Carp struck out his first time up. He's going to wait for this one to see it. Boy, he's thinking middle. That's where it goes.
It's not an error, but that was a weird kind of read by Neto. That's not a very fundamental play. And if you're the shortstop there, especially with infield in, your number one goal needs to be just stopping that with your body. He just kind of threw the glove out there. I'll take it.
The big number is the 2 runs for this very resilient team. I mean, the Tigers, yes, they played the White Sox, who lost 101 games. 9 of those are Tigers victories. And then you're playing the Angels, a team that's lost 5 in a row. You still have to win.
No matter what their record is, you got to try and win as many games as you can. They want to get over the 500 mark.
All right, let's keep it going.
They're doing what they're supposed to do.
This is a guy. Now here's a guy that I'm really starting to like. I mean, I've liked him for a minute now, but I tweeted it out yesterday. Colt Keith, to me, strikes me as one of those players that every team in the division outside of us is going to hate because he's just a pest.
If you sweep the Angels, like you'd hope to, right, considering their record, and you leave this series 69-66, and you're something like the 5.5 game range of the wild card, why not make it a fun September?
That's what I said.
Look, you don't have to build the most vertical graphic ever to get the Tigers in the wild card.
No, and I mean, the Guardians and Royals are playing one another. I mean, so somebody's going to be losing. And right now it looks like the Royals are kind of taking care of things. But somebody's losing there. So you're gaining ground on somebody in the division.
And they always say you got multiple people to jump over. Still, the task is what it is.
And one of them's coming in this weekend that you can control too.
Get out.
Sox for 3. This is flared to left field.
That could be trouble. Wow, great play. Wow, that's a tremendous play.
That's an outstanding
Yeah.
play by Neto. I mean, really brilliant. Our T-Mobile coverage cam is this.
He's going in there. Who's got it? With this guy who puts his glove up, good body control. Puts it away.
Torkelson time.
That's a hit.
Yeah, that would have been down.
Fair ball, yeah.
Look at his slide. And then reaches up and makes that play.
We got that between innings.
How about Torque stays hot?
He looks at foul, strike 1.
How often do I get recognized in public when I go out and about? Okay, like I can go to the store, right? And like I would say if I go to Detroit sporting events, so Tigers games, Lions games, or anything at Little Caesars, quite often. I mean, I don't keep track, but I would say at a Tigers game, if I circle the park a few times, 10, 15 times.
The fastball yesterday when he hit 4 balls hard. Coming back after that little stint down at AAA.
Outside.
It's going to clear a 25.
See, this is where he's got to adjust. He's throwing everything, 3 pitches, all of them away to Torque here. I have in the past reached out to him, and of course would be open to doing an interview. That might be something that might be more likely during the offseason because I mean he's a busy fucking guy. I mean he's calling a game every single night.
So I think that they're saying, look, we don't want to play a doubleheader because it's tough. Let's wait this thing out as long as we can because we can take our shots winning one game at a time.
That's a good pitch. That's a perfect pitch. That was a 2-seamer. Swung right back into the zone.
Pick up their first 3 base runners of the game, all on hits. Parker Meadows, 3 bases for you. Matt Beerling, 2 bases in error. So Gary Carpenter didn't need much. They got something. 2-1 Tigers.
I'll be right back. Got to grab my Coke Zero. Very important.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged. So you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for around $319 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
You want to know who Mike Rogers is? He got more than $1 million from the drug industry. His wife runs lobbies for the drug industry. 9 of his former staffers lobbied for the drug industry. And sure enough, he voted with the drug industry to
Maybe circle back to a Barstool play to what?
lower drug prices. 4 times.
Herter's still out. Is this just a start for Herter?
And the drug industry makes more. And
I mean, he's pitched 4. He's only thrown 61 pitches. God, we're in the 5th already. Wait a I have Pop-Tarts. I'm a child. Yeah, Herter's still out there.
Here's your hot ready thick crust pepperoni pizza.
Crispy crust, toppings all the way to the edge, and I didn't have to order ahead.
You want pizza fast? You go with Unready.
Now I have time to live it up. Summer, here I come.
Dad?
I'll beat you in all.
This is an OCD thing, okay? When I eat a Pop-Tart, I eat around the edges first. Because then, in the center, is the best part. And I save the best part. You're right. Well, we've talked about that on these streams before. I think that if you're a reliever and you aren't in the back end of a bullpen consistently closing games, and if you're not throwing super hard, you often get overlooked. But Tyler Holton has been as effective as any reliever in baseball over the last 2 years. And I would argue, in terms of value, the fact that he's a relief pitcher that we have seen him pitch in every inning this year. How many relievers can you say that about? How many pitchers at all can you say that about, including starters? Fuck. Cut it off. Make sure it's 2. Fuck.
He's got second. He's looking for third. And the throw ends up over at third. You're right, Gibby. That would have been a possible out of third base.
God damn it. Right after I said he sucks.
That's not weird. This is tough play right here. You get down there.
What happened? Did he?
Everything right.
Yeah, bad cutoff. How do you airmail the fucking cutoff, man?
Missed the cutoff, man. I think it would have been pretty close.
He missed both cutoff, man.
But he did everything right. Went down in the corner. You don't know. Tried to pick the cutoff man up a little bit, but
Well,
now we got to cut this guy down at third base.
2 reasons. Number one is
AJ very.
when I arrived at Barstool, I was very intimidated. And this was all my doing. Like, they were all very welcoming and cool, but I was very intimidated by the people. And I really didn't feel like I belonged, just in the sense that, like, I know these people. They're all very talented. They're all very nice. They're all way cooler than I am. Like, I'm just the fucking gas station guy. Like, this is weird. And so in my mind, I'm like, the only way for you to be kind of cool enough to fit in is for you to drink a lot so you can loosen up. And so when I got sober, and it was kind of the more, I don't want to say more authentic version of me. That's kind of eye roll inducing, but a different version of me. I was tough to deal with. And secondly, when you, not drinking is a very small part of sobriety. You have to get to the root of why you drank in the first place and adjust to life without it. And I had a really difficult time with that. And it made me an impossible person to work with. Impossible. So, yeah, it is a bit backwards, but, I mean, what else is new with me? All right, strike this fucker out.
Middle of the plate, and then he found the way Lopez did. Top of the order next, Taylor Ward, then Neto. They'll see Herder for the third time.
It looks like he's looking outside, Gibby. I mean, leaning out there now for something out over the plate.
Got him.
Struck him
Wow.
out. High fastball takes down Lopez.
I've always been a fan of the crafty pitchers that just dot up corners. Holton just has that approach. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that him and Chris Fetter in a lot of ways are kind of a match made in heaven because and I didn't watch Holton in Arizona. I didn't really watch him. I didn't pay any attention to him coming up through the system when he was with the Diamondbacks. That'll be an out, but that'll be a run. So I'm not exactly sure what his issues were, but my theory is that they might have been trying to turn him into something he wasn't. He is a finesse guy who's going to mix pitches, who's going to induce weak contact. He's never going to be a guy who's going to get a ton of swing and miss, a ton of strikeouts, but he's going to move the ball. He's going to command the zone. And the one thing that, the pitchers who've succeeded under Chris Fetter have done is they've been consistent with throwing strikes with all of their pitches. And I think that Holton in a lot of ways is kind of the ultimate match for Fetter.
Yeah, Kurt Gibson getting out participation trophies is not something I expected, but to each his own. It's a little bit off the plate. 1-1. Gerald Laird played 13 years in the big leagues. Very nice career for himself. His brother Brandon was a big leaguer as well. One to Neto.
Gerald Laird was the only time I ever caught somebody getting out of position. Tony La Russa had who was their catcher?
Hannafy Warman. Yeah, this will probably be it. But five innings, 2 earned for him is fine. I mean, he only gave up 3 hits so far.
Molina was on the card, but Laird went out for the first inning they caught. So he was in the game. So I could have waited. Then I had to make sure Tony knew I got him. He's the master. Gerald Laird out of order. Wow. So he played the rest of the game.
What was Tony's reaction?
Oh, that's nice.
Screwball's fun. Yes. When you watch, and I think, look, we live in the age of the strikeout, right? But I do think sometimes we get it wrong when we say that a guy is just a Torque sucks on these. He sucks on these.
Absolutely. He sensed it that he would overrun it. It's going to be 2 bases for Neto.
From this angle up here, it just looked like they didn't have it together. If you're the outfielder, you want to try and get over there. It's maybe an easier play, but Torque just got spun around right here.
Yeah, at least they didn't run into you. Thank God for small miracles.
Not really looking. You're looking at the ball. You can peripherally you'll see your teammate. Maybe he's called it. Maybe you haven't. This kind of gets you a little confused, but they call that when it happens.
But back to what I was saying. I think when people define a pitcher as a strikeout pitcher, a lot of people mean that's all they are. The fact is, like Justin Verlander, I think in terms of stuff has like the greatest stuff ever, right? And Verlander threw 100 and he led the league in strikeouts many times. So by definition, you would categorize him as a strikeout pitcher. But I saw literally an infinite number of times in which he had 60 pitches through 3 innings and then started pitching for contact. And before you knew it, he was through 7, having thrown 100 pitches. I think that what makes the great ones so great is that they have the ability to hunker down on nights where they might not have that swing and miss stuff.
Okay, we're going to do that one again. They catch it the next 10 times. But it's just...
But there's another
You don't get a strikeout, something like that can happen.
Oy vey.
We're tied at 2 after 4.5.
Look, man. First of all, I think you've asked that question like a million times. I never heard anybody go up to me or go up to anybody else and say, you know what, I think Castellani faked this entire thing. What I think bothered people, and again, I was either too intoxicated or too up my own ass to really see it. What I think bothered people is that I wrote that initial blog, which was, do I regret writing it? Yeah, of course. And I could definitely regret having it be posted to the site, but it was very honest and raw, and you know, it was open for sure. And I think what people expected is like, oh, it's going to be a long road back for Castellani. And it was never specifically said to me, but I could tell that people viewed the 12 days as kind of as a phony thing. I said before, I hated being in rehab. And I was determined to stay sober and have been. Look, man, I wish, of course, I wish I could do the whole process over again. I didn't even think for a second that I would be met with that much skepticism when I got out. I should have been smarter.
So the Tigers are third in this metric. You'll hear the Tigers talk about sometimes called FIP. It's basically ERA in the way of the books, right? So like a 3.75 ERA and a 3.75 FIP, you can kind of consider it to be the same type of thing. We showed that to you now because FIP takes out the randomness of batted balls, and we've seen a lot of it tonight on both sides, right? You mentioned it, Jan. A couple of balls dropped by the Angels, should have been caught, whatever. It's a better way to judge pitchers over the long haul, some people say, because it's basically about walks, strikeouts, and home runs, the things you can control. So but usually really good FIPs are really good pitchers. Anyway,
really depends on the day, man. Sometimes I regret going at all, but it's fly ball to center. That'll be in the park. I don't know, man.
This is why front offices care about strikeouts so much.
I don't know.
So much because
who
knows what's going to happen. You know it as a pitcher.
Yeah, and it's another one
I don't know.
of those ones that showed up on your periodic table of baseball.
Shorts.
No, baseball.
Elements.
Yes, there we go. Yeah,
the person who made that decision was me. My own family didn't know about it.
I guess you chase strikeouts both ways.
Yeah.
Because I figured if I talked to them about it, that I would just get criticized and they'd lecture me, and I didn't want to deal with that, so I just went. I don't know.
Would you want that and not the double play ball, or would you know what I'm saying?
Well, kind of, it's meant to take out the randomness. So, like, it would basically say we don't care about what happens with the ball in play, but if you're giving up a lot of balls in play,
that's outside. Yeah, good pitch, but he is outside.
And the batting average of ball in play. Correct. It's kind of similar.
That first.
And I bring this up. This always gets overlooked, but it was not only drinking, but I was going through it. Jesus, I was going through an eating disorder at the time too. And look, I'll be honest, and this is a flaw. I'm a dramatic fuck. Okay, I am. I'm hyperbolic. I dramatize. I exaggerate things. But the way that I was looking at it at the time was, that'll probably be in the park. It's got some carry. Wow, all right, Jake. Fuck yeah. Man, that's what makes Jake so frustrating at points is the fact he has legitimately, like, he probably has 30 home run pop, like legitimate 30 home run potential, but he expands the zone. He's not consistent at all. But, like, dude, you don't go straightaway center at Comerica Park unless you have some legit power. Was he? No, he wasn't close to catching that. Would have been an out in the previous dimension.
And he continues to torment the Angels. And there's an example that's going to hurt Johnny Cueto's fifth.
That's going to be bad for the fifth. Bad for business.
I'll get back to what I was talking about at the end of this inning.
So that's X-Fifth. You want to do X-Fifth?
Yeah.
Gibby?
Yeah.
So X-Fifth takes into account how many home runs you're supposed to have given up, not that you've given up. Thank you for the entree into that.
No, I
Because
know.
people at home are like, you know what, this isn't nerdy enough.
No, I just know I call sometimes you're not able to get back to me because you're studying, so I can learn things.
Yeah, no.
They were pretty silly. 420 to center. That's insane. A ball hit 420 feet should never be an out. That is legitimate. Like, you need to have crazy pop.
2-2 to Parker Meadows.
It's like a walk.
Okay, just to put it straight, is there any other? There's a fifth, there's X, right?
X-Fifth.
X-fifth. Is there any other fifth?
Nope, that's it. Fifth tour is in the Larry Sanders show. 3-2.
I found that funny.
I told you, game starts this late. We're trying to make it through, Gibby. We're doing good. Tigers after dark. 3-2. Chuck Bear's coughing in the back of the booth. Ward on the move, and he is there to make the catch. We're going to check on Chuck in this baseball. Straight away, center field.
All right, Tigers lead it for 5. Going back to what I was saying, look, this was, and it was probably ill-advised, but you guys got to keep in mind I was drunk while thinking this. My whole thing was, dude, like, if you continue with this, like, you could, like, die or something really bad could happen, or you could lose your job. So I'm like, I gotta do something to fix that. And I knew I needed the reset and the detox, and so I don't know. I mean, I explain myself all the time. As a person who has been to rehab 3 times and once stuck there for 90 days, I say big props to however you beat the virgin alcohol. Yeah, I mean, thank you. The one thing, and I appreciate it, the one thing that really hurt, because it genuinely wasn't my intention. Look, I've done a lot of cunty things. I've said a lot of shitty things to people that ultimately ended up with me losing my job. But the one thing that I heard from a lot of people that did bother me was that, like, I didn't take the rehab stuff seriously, or that me only being there for as long as I was somehow an insult to other people who suffered with addiction. Had I have known at all that people would react to that the way that they did, I wouldn't have. I would have gone about things much differently, because I knew even before I got help how hard it is to kick addiction. You're thinking of Class A, buddy. Who's winning the Central? Royals look good. I think I said last night, I think the Royals, regardless of whether or not they win the Central, I think they're more dangerous in October. Could be wrong about that, because Cleveland's proved me wrong every step of the way. But so was Kansas City. I had Kansas City low on my 30 teams in 30 days list. I thought that they were a 106 loss team last year. I thought they'd be a 90 loss team this year. No, I also didn't know that Bobby Witt was going to go 3 for 4 every fucking game. That should be an out. Charge it, Riley. Atta babe. I like Hanafi. I like that sinker.
And there's this book called A Game of Inches, which takes us through all the innovations in Major League Baseball. This is from 1885. I saw it this morning in that book, and I wanted to share it with you guys. How can the rules be made so?
Well, they have healthy starters. That's the thing, man. Is you know, they have one guy in Reagan's who's he came up with the Rangers, but like he's a young system, like young ace in the making. And then they have four, like, not great necessarily, but four good experienced starters that have stayed healthy and that can give you innings. Lugo's had his best year. Walker's been good. They got Lorenzen now, though. I think he left. He got stepped on today. So you know, they have guys who can you know, toss some frames for him. Well, the thing is, the idea that I kicked it within weeks makes it seem like there wasn't dude. The day that I got out, I wanted to drink. Like, it's not. That's such a misnomer that, like, oh, I'm clean. I hated being there, and I felt like things are only going to get worse for my situation if I stay here any longer. He went, I think. So I will never claim to have kicked addiction in weeks. I'll also claim that you don't really kick addiction. You handle it. And it's different for circumstances, but I've heard people say once you get to a year, once you get to X amount of time that it's you know, you no longer have the temptation. I have the temptation every day. Every day, dude. You know how easy like it would be to just like get obliterated drunk for several hours and forget about all the horrible shit that I've done the last several months, last year. No, for a few hours, forget the fact that, you know, from my perspective, my entire life's falling apart. Yeah, that'd be easy. That's easy. But easy in the short term is hard in the long term. What do I see with Jackson Jobe? I see a guy with some of the best stuff we're going to see coming up through the system. I see a guy with ace potential and a guy with who's with a golden arm that I genuinely hope stays healthy.
He's got the righties, and next time around, he's still got lefties in the bullpen. AJ does.
Should be playable. Atta boy. Good inning.
Presented by Casamigos, featuring drink specials and live music up in America Land. There's no better party than Detroit. For tickets, go to tigers.com/party.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with the getaway car. He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing because he
Okay, look, I don't. This is random. I don't want to get political with this. Okay, but one thing I hate about politics on both sides is fear mongering. Like, hey, if you want our borders to be totally secure, great. That's your prerogative. I totally understand your perspective. If you think that we need to be tougher on illegal immigration, all right, hey man, that's part of the way you feel. I'm not even saying that I disagree with that. But you're airing these commercials from people who said I was assaulted and almost murdered by an illegal immigrant. Like, okay, I understand that those cases do exist, but I also think it's just gross generalizing when we send the message that every person that comes over to this country has the intent to commit a crime. I just think it's so, like, that's the problem with modern politics is that there's no subtlety. You know, whether you like Trump or not, the first time he ran, the first thing he said was, you know, we got to close the border. They're bringing crime. They're rapists, and some, I would assume, are good people. Do I miss blogging every day? Is it a relief not to be not doing them every day? I overdid it, but I at least felt like I was contributing, you know, at the time.
Is Rupert coming?
I don't think so because I asked the same.
2-0, man. I can see a big hack here. Get a nice two-seamer. Ooh, got a slider. Good pitch. It's probably inside, but that's a tough pitch not to hack at.
Microwave. Yeah. Well, Tommy Brooks is the one that behind that being fair.
You got a lot of that.
Center field. Pilar at the wall again.
God damn, the ball's carrying out tonight, buddy boy. Dude, that thing was a fucking rope. 425, 109 off the bat. Wow.
Foot goes down. He's got his eyes right at it, perfect, right at the middle of the field. Pilar's just throwing a prayer up there. Wait else his own one.
Inside. Yeah, that was impressive, man. I've been watching Tiger games for so long that when I see a ball that's hit to center, I just immediately assume it's going to be caught. He hit that on such a line that I felt like he was probably going to get over Pilar's head, maybe off the wall. For that to carry 425, that's gone with the previous dimensions. That was impressive. That was impressive.
Take a look at this from the side. Riley's he's got a unique style where he doesn't really dive over the plate very much. That's how he can feel comfortable standing on the plate inside.
Inside.
Look right here. He's right there. He doesn't dive.
I mean, not a good pitch. I think he was trying to go in on him. Jam job. He left it right over the heart of the plate at 90 sinker. I mean, Riley's going to crush that every day of the week, but great swing. Outside of boy, Matty.
It's the first walk for the Tigers tonight, and it's Beerling here in the sixth.
Somebody, okay. Do I think my left-wing political views hurt a chance with him? No, because it is not a deal breaker for me. For one, I'm not a consistent dater by any means, but I'm not stupid enough to think that it's a good idea to talk about politics on a first date or even a second date. And secondly, it's just, I talk about it, but it's not that important to me.
What's a deeper, more dangerous, and more confident lineup? All.
They enjoy running pillows when they hit it.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Come on.
And deep.
Come on!
That ball became a satellite.
All right.
Well, the folks who stuck around are thrilled.
Third time around to charm here. Look, Riley Green with the bomb. Beerling with the walk. What do you call this? Boy, never a doubt.
The Tigers have hit nearly 1,300 feet of home runs tonight. 1,270.
I'm going to have to clip that.
6-2.
I haven't had a reaction to a home run like that in a long time. This is fun. This is fun. Sorry, I'm clipping that for the. Oh wait, shit! I gotta fucking. 1 second, people. Duty calls. That was unreal.
Pitching change is Brock Burke, the former Texas Ranger, who was a waiver claim 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
honestly, Dan, and I know you're not being pessimistic. I don't want to hear the whole world they're playing bad teams shit. I have seen many an instance of teams pissing away their season by losing to bad teams, playing up to their competition, playing down to their competition. You got to play who's on your schedule. Yeah. We won 4 against the White Sox, right? But let's be honest, there were 2 or 3 games that were pretty darn competitive. That's strike three. So I don't buy in.
How many pieces did they trade off in their at the deadline? I know they traded Estevez right out of the bullpen, but I can't remember if they lost other pieces, traded them off.
He was the big one.
He
That
was,
a big
yeah.
deal there was some conversation about Luis Rengifo possibly being a deadline target. He's currently on the injured list. Strike 2 on Torkelson. You know what, Luis Garcia to the Red Sox as well. That was the other strike 3.
You know what? The vibes are good. I can't even be pissed at Torque right now.
When you watch Johnny Cueto and just all the antics in his delivery, and then you just get old-fashioned 98-mile-an-hour fastball coupled with that changeup, and it's a different at-bat.
Put it up.
Going from Cueto to Rogers.
Foul ball, strike 1 for Sweeney.
When you get that extra D gotta try and short things up.
A great call by Benetti there.
Easier said than done for 10 to see the back coming so fast. So you cheat a little bit.
Sorry, I'm doing double duty, man, because I'm clipping the reaction to the home run. But we'll get back to regularly scheduled programming here in a second.
You want to see the pitch and identify and know what you want to do with it if you can. But
Is this?
you started early, you got that extra heat.
Wow. Easy.
We're going to have a whole debate over whether or not that was going to be an immaculate inning. If you come in after somebody else gave up runs, but you have clean bases, he had gone 8 for 8 in strikes until
That's an immaculate inning.
just
Yeah,
let that ball off.
that's in there.
And then there's strike 3.
That's pretty tough.
Snapdragon.
You like homers? We got homers.
Free beer from where?
Do it for the kids that Green goes deep. Terry Clapton.
Consistently? No. I wish I did. Jesus. All right, let's finish this strong. We got 9 defensive outs we got to get. Oh, well, I wasn't in the offices very much. Yes. When you were there and it got towards the end of the day, if you wanted to grab a high noon or two, yes, you could. But I like I said, I was not in the offices that much. Sorry. Okay, we're good. What do you think the reaction would be if you just showed up to the New York office? Okay. First of all, it'd be an enormous waste of money. Secondly, I can't believe I'm entertaining this question. What happens is there are entrances, there is security there that lets you in. If for whatever reason the security guard didn't know the situation and just had seen me before and knew I worked there and let me in, it would probably be 5 minutes tops until someone's like, get the fuck out of here. Got him. Sit the fuck down.
One down, Trevor Thompson. What do you have?
Yeah, guys, the Tigers have hit 3 home runs tonight. You look inside that dugout, you see the smiles, you see the camaraderie that these guys share, and that's a really good thing for these guys because inside that clubhouse, they're trying to build a culture of winning and a culture of oneness, and you've seen that with these guys. Jake Rogers told me before the game, they've had that for the last couple of seasons now. Although it's been tough to see some of the veterans go, the young guys have come up, they've all played together, so there's this camaraderie they've already had built in, a familiarity.
I don't know, probably not.
They're playing for one another. They certainly are cheering one another on. And that culture that they're trying to build is certainly showing itself right here. And the results you're seeing as well with 14 wins in 11 of the last 14 games. So these guys are coming together. They're growing together. They're pulling for one another. And the culture they're trying to develop as this team grows together is certainly evident in that clubhouse. In the
Make play on it.
Trev, thank you for that. Greiger is third.
Nice.
Play. 2 down. But they've heard of these guys, quite a few of them grew up together in the minors.
I think that's really important, and as Trevor was talking about, you walk in and yes, you're in the big leagues and you're not overwhelmed though, because hey, you look over there, hey, there's your shortstop. You look over there, hey, there's your first baseman. I mean, you feel like, look, I've been here all my life, and there's a certain comfort level there instead of being overwhelmed.
That slider was disgusting. It had teeth.
Nice down.
Hanafy's got a good arm.
And teeth, how did they go?
Yeah, you do better than I do. Mine ends up sounding like Caddyshack.
I just think the Hanafy sinker is just really, really good.
Kind of reminds me of Foley, really.
And it's so late. And if you're going to hit it, I just think you're going to make just soft, weak contact.
There it was. When you say it's so late, you mean the movement, not the
movement.
The time on the clock right now.
Right, just at the plate. It looks straight coming out and it gets right and just really moves.
Oh, nice spear.
What a reaction. Hanafy. Wow.
That wasn't soft contact, but that got the ground ball, and Hanafy standing right there to show the pitchers are good athletes. Oh, boy. What a play. And coming up, It's the Flager Law 7th inning stretch.
See you post game.
You got it, pal.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Lease a dynamic new 24 Tacoma for $349 a month. Get a new 24 Tundra with 1.99 APR financing or $2,000 customer cash with 2 years no cost maintenance.
Come in today. Ooh, like
Toyota. Let's go places.
I think we went to
We
dinner.
met up to watch a Tigers game.
Actually, I think we did. I already knew she was a Tigers fan and a baseball fan. That was part of the introduction.
He'd always text me like, "Look what your boy did today,"
Yeah.
whether it was good or bad.
Well, it gave us a lot to talk about.
My love for James has gotten like framed around the Tigers.
We have that bond through baseball, and we just kind of ran with it.
As a professional athlete, my physical and mental strength was challenged many times. But my biggest challenge came after baseball.
I guess it's Holton or Faedo.
Studies show that exercising 2.5 hours per week can help manage Parkinson's symptoms and slow the progression of the disease. Because when fighting Parkinson's, movement matters. To donate, visit KirkGibsonFoundation.org.
There goes Deerling. He's got another stolen base. It's sailed into center.
Oh, you're right. Faedo's still out. Yeah, so it could be Holton. Yeah. I always forget about that. Yeah. He's had some injury issues this year.
6-2, Tigers with the lead. It is the home 7th, and the Eagles are going deeper into the bullpen for former Rule 5 draft pick from the Red Sox. He's been down at AAA. A 2.45 ERA, and we introduce you to Ryan Miller, who was activated today with Matt Moore going on the injured list.
That's up.
Tigers want to add if they can. Lead 6-2 here at the bottom of the 7th.
No, it's not a thing of the past. It's just with the injuries that we've had. We've been forced to do a lot of bullpen days.
Right field, Joe Adell. After we set fire to the rain a couple hours ago, that's out number 1. Now it's time for Chevrolet's strongest player. Tough to pick tonight.
No, that'll be a great way to kill the vibes of fucking Maeda.
They've ended up in center field and 1 left.
That's a great swing, great outcome. Lars usually a guy who tries himself to get up and get one of those, but not today.
It's a good pitch.
Good take.
7 innings, 6.5. Do it.
Changing it up. There's a strike for Miller, 0-2. So Ryan Miller made his professional debut in 2018 at A-Ball. He's bounced around through indie ball a couple of years, once with a team in Southern Illinois and once with a team in Sioux Falls. He got picked up by the Red Sox in 23, pitched all of that year in Double-A with the Portland Sea Dogs, mostly as a reliever. And now has finally made his major league debut with a knee here for the Angels.
It's hungry, and they persevered into the independent leagues.
That's not easy to do. 2-2. Waving a miss, strike 3, and now we give you a message from FanDuel Sportsbook.
He struggled, which really I don't pay a ton of attention to, but to me, we're reaching a point with him where either you got to know by now, and it just doesn't seem like we know.
Angels have lost 5 straight as we sit here tonight. Los Angeles 54-77 out of the American League West.
Yeah, and I think he's injured too.
Ball 1. Shelby Miller looks like he would come in to face the top of the order, Ward Neto and Shonowell.
Just looking at Miller, he's thrown out of the stretch with nobody on. You see how high his leg kick is. You always want to look at scout while you're not at the plate or you're not at first base. See a high leg kick there? I believe if Parker Meadows gets that, he's going to be thinking about scoop.
He's got an on-base machine since his comeback. He's got a triple and a run scored tonight. 2-2. You saw it scrolling on the Valley Bar, by the way. Texas and the White Sox suspended after 4 pitches, which has to be the earliest suspended game in Major League history. Garrett Crochet came out through 4 pitches. Andrew Heaney did not throw for the Rangers. Strike 3. 1-2-3 for Miller in his Major League debut. We'll go to the 8th.
I think it's very comparable to the Lions in 2022 when they started off bad. They finished 9-8, and yeah, they didn't make the playoffs, but it was very clear that something had clicked. Maybe that's what we're seeing. Let's take it one game at a time. Let's get through this series first. Look, I said it in yesterday's video. They are approaching that period in which you can actually say they're playing meaningful baseball. That is cool. All right, don't be on your bullshit, Shelby. Throw strikes. Oh, no, it's still Hannafy. Okay.
Brennan Hannafy stays on to face his 7th batter. He is now 7 for 7 first pitch strikes tonight, which will make everybody in the Tigers front office and dugout very happy.
Got a nasty sweeper going in, slider. Kind of drops down occasionally.
Foul third base side, 1-2. Kansas City, by the way, is leading Cleveland 5-1. If the Royals were to put that game away, it would be a dead heat at the top of the American League Central.
Nobody thought they'd catch him a couple weeks ago, probably.
Check it.
Kansas City's played well all season.
They have pretty sustainable. The Twins lost tonight. They are now 72-60. Raisel Iglesias got the win at 10 for Atlanta. So right now, as of press time of this comment, the Tigers are 6 back of a wild card spot in Minnesota and would be 5.5 back with a win tag. 5.5 back.
Sounds good.
At August 28th would not be so bad. 2-2 is away. But again, this schedule is half and half for the Tigers, basically. You have 6 left with Baltimore. You have 3 with Kansas City. 6 on the road with Baltimore and Kansas City in one single road trip. This to third, Kreidler measures it and throws it and has out number 1. Nicely played by Ryan Kreidler.
Little drop step, got a little just enough momentum to get the ball on their time after goes.
So if that's
It puts it into perspective, man. Yeah, I was a freshman in college.
Tampa Bay, Colorado for home games. That Red Sox series will be interesting. The 3 with San Diego on the road will be interesting. Got to take care of business in Oakland. So it's actually based on winning percentage. Right now, the Tigers have the 3rd easiest remaining schedule.
So you say you got 8 games, 10 games. So if you win 80% of those, there's 8 more wins. But you got to beat everybody. I like playing the better teams because they're gonna. It's a different.
Yeah, I'm with Gibby there. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for.
People start looking at the scoreboards and standings. I think they play a little better. They play a little differently. So
You're going to tell me somebody would say no to having the White Sox on the schedule?
no, but I'm saying like the Baltimore's.
He'll be back next year. He'll be a piece. He'll be a piece.
There's a team that's been developing over the last several years that they really are good. They're really hungry. They've been close enough for a couple of years. They are really hungry, and they've got a lot of talent. I haven't watched them a ton, but enough to know. And hearing others around the league talk about their talent.
2 with the wall was 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That pretty good catcher over there, huh?
Hadley, yeah. The runner Henderson.
Yeah.
Jackson Holiday.
Heard his name a lot at trade time.
Freidler.
Got time.
Similar play. He made his own.
Nice.
And he's got out number 2. Ryan Freidler has played a sterling third base tonight.
Talk about this little drop step. So he gets it and he plays it right into the drop step and he comes in. Alan Trammell special right there. He just,
Yeah, I mean, like this is going to sound silly. His offense isn't even good enough for him to be a defensive replacement. Like, you got to at least have something. What a great job by Hannafy.
We saw Shelby Miller getting loose. He'll come on for Shotterwell. Brennan Hannafy, 8 up, 8 down. Well done.
Spectacular.
A message from the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousness.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but at Sonic, fun is exactly $1.99 for your favorites like the quarter-pound double cheeseburger. So take that, babe. The fun 99, baby. Always $1.99 each.
Abby S asks, how many devices can my Wi-Fi handle?
That's an easy one, Allie. The average home has more devices than ever.
But our gateways are engineered to handle hundreds.
So not only will they work today,
They'll also work tomorrow.
That's right, intern.
thanks, buddy. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just power all your devices with fast, reliable Xfinity internet for just $30 a month.
Is X down? Okay, that must be what it is.
Good stuff.
Right now at the Home Depot, it's easy to shop.
Because it's not loading for me either.
Get up to $1,500 off select innovative appliances like LG.
That's so annoying. I mean, that's first world problems, right? But, like, I fucking hate it when that shit happens.
In 16 years, Greg Gersner will land the perfect cannonball with friends he's already meeting now and AARP volunteering to community events to help make sure his happiness.
Yeah, no, I've talked about that plenty of times where, like, just be a stable bat. And, dude, you can be a 4 or 5 war player.
Bunch of folks have stuck around here after 11:15 tonight for Tigers baseball, trying to win 5 in a row.
Well, Jay Hen will definitely be one of them. After that, I'm not sure.
He has allowed a 347 OPS to left-handers. Lefties are 9 for 87 against him this year.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's got kind of an iron horse. He's very durable.
Is X down for you guys as well? I gotta fucking.
Often.
Yeah, it looks like Mize could be back Friday as well.
He's on his arm and he knows what's too much and what isn't. He knows how to throw it. When he's a little fatigued, he's been in a lot of battles.
He's got a strike on
Maybe.
Shotwell.
I've thought about that. I like Jahen though, and Jahen, you got to give him. Jahen was a Scott Harris acquisition, and that stuff does matter. I think the guys that could potentially be on the chopping block are guys that he didn't bring in. So I like Malloy. I do. I X is down. Okay, weird. That's in there.
Routine plays. Don't try and make trouble. Make them get as many hits as they have to score a run. Don't want to have 2 hits and 3 runs.
Oh yeah, there's a world. I don't know if there's a world where he's the starting shortstop, but I think there could be a world where he's the McKinstry role next year. You're right. I mean, well, Clark's a ways away. I also like. This might sound kind of dumb. I like Jahen as a safety valve, potential move to first base if Torque doesn't work. Guys, the one thing, look, and I know you're not complaining, but honestly, dude, give me too many bats, too many outfielders, as opposed to the nothing that we've had the last 6, 7, 8 years. You know, give AJ, I trust in that aspect. AJ and Scott Harris will be able to figure that thing out. You know, if your biggest problem is that you have too many guys who are on the bench, that's a pretty good problem.
Kevin Pillar scheduled next.
Check swing. Get over there, Shelby. Torque's got it. He's had a weird year, man. He's been good lately.
Play ball, Michigan. Shop the latest in Tiger style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for everything. Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, Spartans, Chippewas, everything Michigan. Rally House. It's your city, it's your house. It's a Rally House. Shop home run styles in-store and online at rallyhouse.com. Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther, and so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus,
what about this year? What's got to be the record the rest of I'd have to double check. I mean, I said preseason 85 wins. I don't think 85 wins would get them to the postseason unless the team like really collapsed.
Soon, Wallside.
Betting GM is swinging for the fences. The best place to bet the long ball all season long. Out of the park odds on home runs.
Come on, this fucking website. It's annoying.
And a weekly shot at your share of 50K bonus bets. Enter the 50K Grand Slam jackpot.
That was very sick. Yes.
Tune in for Tigers Live tomorrow on Valley Sports and the Valley Sports app.
Time for StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
It seems like it is, yeah.
At bat, smokes one straightaway central, 108.5 miles per hour, to 21 degrees launch angle. 400.
We got 6 hits tonight. 5 of them by the top 4 guys in our lineup. They are setting the table, and they are setting up the pins and knocking them down.
Good results.
Sounded good, certainly off the bat, as Ryan Zefferjohn, who made his major league.
Dude, X better be back up and running when this fucking post game is gonna get up. Gonna shit a brick.
Will face Riley Green.
Outside.
And he misses twice in the same spot.
Came over in the Red Sox trade deadline. Been in Salt Lake City. It's a little different here.
That was that Luis Garcia deal we were talking about earlier that involved Zefferjohn.
Tigers trying to add on. Riley Green to get started here.
Zephyr John's a cool name. Ooh, that was a pitch to hit right there.
To the Comerica landing.
Yeah.
Right field and maybe hit the sign.
Maybe on the OK line.
There's a rare off-balance swing for Riley Green. Outside. Good take. Good take.
That little late breaking slider. Right, Zephyr John does.
That's how long it takes to get the temperature today down to 75. We waited it out. We finally got there together.
We had the fans going early. Cool it down. Now we got the heaters on.
3-2.
Ah.
Zephyr John strikes out. Green now message to Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Returning AZ Planet lessees can lease a 2024 F-150 XLT 4x4 Super Crew for $329 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
When that thunderstorm came through earlier, it looked like a thin line of storms that was just going to push through in like half an hour, and we'd get going at 7:30 or so. And instead, first pitch tonight was at 9:25. We're all about to turn into a pumpkin.
Tigers waited until it stopped.
I was AT&T streaming.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, they made a good decision, but it's hard for everybody to sit around and get frustrated. Your tendency says, call it, but Tigers are going to be very happy they can close this game out. And no doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah, you just rather play it and do it.
I'd get in trouble if I did that.
Try to keep this win streak going. 1-1.
Run it up.
Short.
Hey, it's out.
The approach for round number 2, which gives us time for a message from Rally House.
Play ball, Michigan. Shop the latest in Tigers style, your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
2 out, Tigers 8th inning. And here comes Kerry Carpenter for one more at bat after an RBI single in the 4th and a 2-run homer in the 6th.
Perhaps looking for a 98-mile-an-hour heater right here.
In there.
It's not that.
Thought he'd want to stay here, big boy. There were certain pitchers in the league that was talking to some old timers last week who played baseball, major leagues. Joaquin Andahar was the guy.
Outside.
Even though you hit a couple home runs off it, he'd just throw it in there and just try to overpower you. Carp likes to let it go. See if he gets it here.
Outside.
98 away, 2-1. This is not the hardest, though, that you'll see out of the Angels bullpen. Ben Joyce.
Yeah, Ben Joyce throws fucking 105.
Throws 104 plus. Come on.
Don't blink.
2-1. Checks.
He might have gone.
And he did.
Yeah.
2-2.
We get Shelby for the 9th here.
At the call.
No relation.
Oh, we got Wentz warming.
Joey Wentz in the bullpen. There's Drip.
I don't think so. I think I need express written consent by the Tigers or Major League Baseball.
Third base. 2-2.
He got him. Good pitch. Perfect pitch.
It's a 1-2-3 inning for Zephyr John. From one Kansan to another.
Are they bringing in Wentz or are they just warming him?
You love the Tigers, so enjoy every game like no one else. Just flash your Comerica Bank card to enter the VIP entrance and skip the lines. Get ticket discounts at home games, win VIP tickets, and save on the Detroit Tigers Kids Club memberships. Get the card that gets you what you deserve, because when it's your bet, it's your card.
Zephyr John. That's a great name. It's a great baseball name.
Expectations.
There he goes. Farewell, Miranda. Flying uptown for strikeout number 7 for Schuster.
the corner. The catcher will cruise into second. Big pitch hit double. Potential tying runs at second. We got a ball game now.
I was diagnosed with leukemia when I was 35 weeks pregnant with our baby boy. 8 months of chemotherapy for that, and then when
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm dedicated to the cause. You know me.
most of them know the adversity that we've overcome as a family. This is so much more than baseball. I just think it's important for them to see, like, you can overcome something so difficult, and then there be such a blessing out of that.
Nick and Dan of the Tiger Lawn Test. Tigers.
Yeah, it's Shelby.
Who knew the Tigers switched their fireworks to Tuesday night? Well, and who'll stop the rain? The Tigers bats will, and we'll take you back and we'll show you just how loud some of those fireworks were produced by the Tigers in tonight's game. And when was the last time the Tigers were over 500? No need to look it up. We'll do that for you after the game on Tigers Live. We're here to serve, Jason Bennett.
Thank you. Well, Dan's here to quote John Fogerty more than anything. So we look forward to that post game as Shelby Miller is back out to face Kevin Pillar. 3 outs to get. First pitch called a strike. Shelby will take it.
This is going to be just barely over a 2-hour game.
He was warming up earlier, wasn't
Yeah, maybe for a different situation.
he? Yeah. And or just a throw. Get a little light toss in. Game them out. Pitchers, they throw a lot. Hitters hit a lot off the tees, etc. They have routines. Prepare for today and tomorrow.
0-2. Center field.
Barker.
Parker Meadow.
It's 1.
2 down.
Oh wait, no. Is that 1 or 2? That's 1 down. Yeah, 2.
This looks like it's going to be one of those games where the delay was longer than the game by quite some time because of the way the Tigers pitching has served the audience tonight. Brendan Hannafy, 2 2/3, pristine, 8 up, 8 down out of the bullpen.
I don't know if you guys are gonna like this or not, but Shelby Miller is gonna be on this team next year. We're gonna pick up his option. His FIP is good. His strikeout numbers are solid. He did have a stint on the IL, but he's gonna be here. You know what? I haven't. Good pitch. Good splitty.
Pretty impressive. I was thinking, a certain guy, I think about signing him up quick. Keep it in.
Outside.
Let him get away. Several big talented up-and-coming instructors, coaches.
Okay. Good. Right on time. They fixed the website. X is back, baby.
1-2 for Miller. Foul by O'Hoppy. Don't forget tomorrow's game. I'd say same time, but we're a little late tonight. 6:40 Eastern time. We're on the air at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
9:45. Probably get infomercial or something. 1-2.
Hmm.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out for O'Hoppy. Rendon will follow.
What's the count? 2-2. I mean, I think he'll be here next year. I think he'll be part of the catching platoon.
So happy with the severe 2-strike approach there. The ball's bearing in on it. You just inside out again, over to the stands. Hoping to Shelby Miller.
I don't know. I'll think about it.
2-2.
Come on.
There's the second out of the inning, the third of his outing. And Rendon
chase. Good wait.
One more.
They have an influence on Williams swing out of the next pitch. Shelby Miller got him swing out of the zone.
Like it's up way past their bedtime. It's a school night for some. And if this was the final family trip to Comerica midweek, because school's back in session, it's been a great outing for all the little Tiger fans here.
Thoughts on Hannafy? He's been great. He's been really good. I like that sinker.
It's fine. We can go Tuesday. Remember that one time we stayed until 11:35, so we could go until 8:45 next Tuesday.
That's probably a hit. Yeah. Good play, but
That would have been a dazzling end to the game.
That was a good dive. Snag. He said couldn't quite get the grip on it, but he's off the line just a little bit. Thought he was going to come with it, but it looks like it slips out of his hand.
even if he would have came up, I don't think he's not throwing him out there. I mean, I know Rendon barely tries to run anymore, but
Good try.
Here's Brandon Drury.
good pitch.
Rendon's going to take second base.
Defensive indifference.
Officially called indifference.
Just give him a steal. I've never liked that. Why not just give him a steal? Come on. A fastball's got some life to it tonight. All the way.
That was coming this way. Bounce this one in the dirt.
0-2 again for Miller. Angels are being pesky. On 2 strikes, Miller
Outside.
does not get the chase. 1-2.
Come on, you got to attack now. Let's go.
One, two.
Ah,
That bounces. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's good Tigers. You don't want to think about it, but you get another guy on. Start looking at that tie run coming the way.
good for the Royals, man. Tied in that division.
Right here. She is.
Who's on deck? Adele. All right, come on. Don't let it. Well, let it get to Adele, but don't let it get beyond that.
2-2. That elusive final strike.
Fully warming just in case. Yeah, if Adele
Foley getting loose.
rips a double or hits a home run,
Yeah, that tie run gets to play. Jason Foley's going to be in.
3-2. He hit him.
Jesus.
2 on, 2 out.
So he's trying to come up and in here.
I have a question. I think I know the answer. Does that go down as a hit by pitch, or it goes down as a hit by pitch, right? But it would. But it's ball 4.
That last out was hard to
Are
get.
they pulling him?
Angels digging in there. Trying to make it hard to
Yeah, they're pulling him.
Here comes AJ. Let's see.
Yeah.
He's going to move. So Jason Foley will come in 2 on, 2 out, 1 out to get for the Tigers when we come back.
Yeah, because there are instances you can technically get hit by a pitch and have it be a strike. It's rare, but
It's right now. Because now gets you ready for the cold weather. Because now gets you these never before savings. Half off every window. Plus an extra 22% off for cash. Or up to 6 years, no interest financing. Don't wait, do it now. Half off every window, plus an extra 22% off for cash. Wallsign. Call now or go to wallsign.com.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed.
all right, come on.
Productive day.
Don't let this get hairy. Just get out of this inning right here.
Continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
The excellence of driving a Buick is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience when you own a Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.
GM employees with current eligible GM lease get this ultra-low mileage lease on its 2024 Buick Envista Preferred for $239 per month.
Arby's is full of choices. You can get your favorite stuff 3 for $5. Incredible value. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
All right, don't be on your bullshit. Throw strikes. Get a grounder with that sinker. Let's go home. He's been good in August.
He's been a workhorse. Usually pitching towards the back. KJ doesn't call him closer, does he yet?
We'll get into the day. Joe Adell has not hit the ball well against right-handers, and Mickey Moniak has grabbed a bat, but he's not going to hit for Adell.
Yeah, he'll hit the big good sign. That'll be the time run.
Got to get there first. Jason Foley to Joe Adell.
All right, there's one.
Strike one.
The Tigers infield plays back a little bit to the third base side. I don't know if Adell would, but just a thought.
All right, come on.
Yank foul on 2. Two strikes.
It's down.
Looked like Foley wanted to go up and in. He yanked it a little bit. I think you want to stay down the way. Looked like he was trying to pull the ball earlier. Adell pulled the ball earlier at bat.
He can run. No, you could take third.
Taps the bat, game over. Perfect timing. Tigers win 6-2.
All right, got a video. Talk to you soon.